Good afternoon. Well, a couple of days ago, I was privileged to attend an open house at ICT SOS. Now, that's an organization that was born in Wichita over 10 years ago. Jennifer White is the founder and the executive director of ICT SOS. The mission of that nonprofit is published on their website, and it states there, "Our mission is to end human trafficking through prevention and awareness education, advocacy for survivors, and acting as a bridge between direct service professionals and community members who desire to help." Although Jennifer is not the only one at ICT SOS, she is the hub of that organization, an organization that has grown exponentially in the last dozen or so years. And that's what I'd like to share with you in this post. Jen got the impetus for the goal of ending human trafficking because of her daughters. The older one was just getting to the age where she could be vulnerable to trafficking. There were also accounts of human trafficking in the Wichita area and in the media. She saw a need, she put two and two together, and wanting to protect not only her daughters, but other children and adults from the scourge of trafficking, she decided to quit complaining and do something about it. Thus, ICT SOS was formed and initially operated out of her home for a time. Jennifer's efforts at starting a grassroots movement gradually grew until she needed to get out of her home. She got an area on the second floor of the old Meads Corner at Douglas and Emporia and continued her work there. That office area, although helpful and productive for her, became too small and confining after a time. The new Child Advocacy Center was by now more than just a thought in the minds of those who work with trafficking and exploitation, and was being brought into existence in a remodeled school on South Emporia. Jen was offered a space there, and she moved her org to that center. She was able to expand her reach there by bringing on additional help, creating a board of directors to oversee the organization, increasing the organization's educational and outreach efforts, and providing basic necessities such as those Fresh Start bags that are a hallmark of the organization. This move to the CAC was, in my opinion, the thing that started an exponential growth in ICT SOS and enabled Jennifer and her partners to spread their wings, so to speak, try new things, improve on what works, tap into grants, other forms of support, and get the word out not only on human trafficking and exploitation, but also the role of ICT SOS in combating that evil. That move to the CAC, while beneficial for a time, eventually also became confining because of the lack of adequate physical space for a growing organization. That mandated looking for yet another space that was more roomy, as well as the funding for that space, and eventually a move. Well, a space was found on South Emporia that seemed to be a good fit. There was office space, some space for small gatherings, a storeroom area where Fresh Start bags and other items could be safely stored for future use. Moving into that building, ICT SOS grew even more, and within just a few short years also outgrew that space. In a move that can only be described as divine intervention, the space next door in that same office building opened up for lease about that time. Now that space was taken over by ICT SOS, and when it was taken over, it enlarged the original office area by at least 200%, provided many benefits that were much more than just conveniences. One of the major benefits was now the availability of more and better privacy for counseling or conversation with clients and victims. Storage space was markedly increased, as well as office areas for the people who would be working with the various outreach efforts of ICT SOS. This new office space was the focal point of that open house that I attended a couple of days ago. I can't do everything, but I can do something. This is what keeps Jennifer and her compatriots going in a never-ending battle against human trafficking and exploitation. Jennifer and her co-workers are a great example of an ordinary person. Jennifer's a wife and a mom. Jennifer herself will tell you she's nothing special. She's a great example of doing something rather than just complaining about how bad things are and wondering when someone will finally step up and do something about it. Jennifer chose to step up in faith, and in spite of her not being well known, not well connected, not someone famous, ICTSOS stands out as an organization on the move, making a difference, creating change. Now, I realize that not everyone is cut out for forming a nonprofit, getting the groundwork done, pursuing a dream, and realizing the fruit of that work and dream in the way Jennifer White has done and continues to do. But everyone can, as she and others say, do something. So instead of expending energy, time, and treasure on complaining and griping, maybe do something constructive, do something productive, volunteer, donate, be a cheerleader, support, encourage, pray. You know, there's much that you can do to make this world a better place for your having been here. Why don't you start today? Blessings.